Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special story time. Today, we are going on an amazing adventure from the Bible, a story called Noah's Ark. You can find this incredible tale in the book of Genesis, chapters 6 through 9. It's a story about faith, obedience, and a brand new beginning for the whole world. Long ago, the world was a very different place. People had forgotten how to be kind and good. They were often mean to each other, and their hearts were filled with sadness and mischief. God looked down at the world He had created, and He was very sad. He wished He hadn't made people at all. But there was one person who was different. His name was Noah. Noah loved God and always tried to do what was right. He was a good man, and his family followed God too. One day, God spoke to Noah. Imagine hearing God's voice. God told Noah that He was going to send a great flood to cover the whole earth, because of all the bad things people were doing. But God had a special plan to save Noah and his family and all the animals. God gave Noah very specific instructions. He told Noah to build a giant boat, unlike any boat anyone had ever seen. This boat was called an ark. It had to be made of gopher wood, covered inside and out with pitch to make it waterproof. God even told Noah exactly how big to make it: 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. That's like 3 football fields long. It also needed 3 decks and a window near the top. Noah must have been so surprised. Building such a huge boat would take a very long time and a lot of hard work. And imagine what his neighbors must have thought. "Noah, why are you building a giant boat in the middle of dry land?" they might have asked, laughing. But Noah didn't listen to the doubters. He trusted God completely. So, Noah, with the help of his wife, his 3 sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth and their wives, began to build. Day after day, year after year, they cut wood, hammered nails, and followed God's instructions carefully. It took them many years, but they never gave up. Finally, the ark was finished. It was a magnificent, enormous vessel. Then, God told Noah it was time. He said, "Go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation. Take with you 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate, and 1 pair of every kind of unclean animal, a male and its mate, and also 7 pairs of every kind of bird, male and female, to keep their various kinds alive throughout the earth." And then, something truly amazing happened. Animals from all over the world started coming to Noah, 2 by 2, just as God had commanded. Big elephants, tall giraffes, roaring lions, tiny mice, colorful birds, slithering snakes. They all marched into the ark in an orderly line. Can you imagine the sounds and sights? Noah and his family worked hard to make sure every animal had a place and enough food for a very long journey. Once Noah, his family, and all the animals were safely inside, God Himself shut the door of the ark. And then the rain began. It wasn't just a normal rain shower. The Bible says, "On that day all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. It rained and rained for 40 days and 40 nights. The water rose higher and higher, covering the mountains, until the whole earth was submerged. The ark floated safely on top of the water, protecting everyone inside. For many months, the ark drifted on the vast ocean that covered the world. It must have been a strange and quiet time inside, with only the sounds of the animals and the gentle rocking of the boat. But Noah and his family knew they were safe because God was with them. After 150 days, the waters began to recede. The ark finally came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Noah waited patiently. He sent out a raven, but it flew back. Then he sent out a dove. The first time, the dove returned because it couldn't find anywhere to land. 7 days later, Noah sent the dove out again, and this time, it came back with a fresh olive leaf in its beak. This was a sign that the waters were going down and new life was appearing. 7 days after that, he sent the dove out one last time, and it didn't return, meaning the land was dry. Finally, after more than a year inside the ark, God told Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, the birds, the animals, and all the creatures that move along the ground, so they can multiply on the earth and be fruitful and increase in number on it." What a joyful day that must have been. As they stepped out onto the dry land, Noah built an altar and offered sacrifices to God, thanking him for saving them. God made a special promise to Noah and to all living creatures. He said, "Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth." And as a beautiful sign of this promise, God placed a rainbow in the sky. Every time we see a rainbow, it reminds us of God's promise and His love. The story of Noah's Ark teaches us so much about trusting God, even when things seem impossible. Noah obeyed God, and because of his faith, he and his family and all the animals were saved. It's a wonderful reminder that God always keeps His promises and that even after difficult times, there can be a beautiful new beginning. If you love this story, please give us a big thumbs up. And if there are other Bible stories you'd like to hear, let us know in the comments below. See you next time for more amazing adventures. Bye for now.